Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the next topic of accountancy, that is accounting for GST, Goods and Services Tax. After completion of the topic, you will be able to define GST, that is, what is the meaning of Goods and Services Tax, discuss the objectives of GST, then you will be able to explain the features of GST, you will be able to identify the categories of GST, record necessary journal entries with GST. Now starting with the meaning of GST. Students, GST is a comprehensive indirect tax which is charged at a prescribed rate each time the sales is made of the goods or services or both by a registered taxpayer. GST has almost eradicated all indirect taxes, and these indirect taxes have merged into one indirect tax, that is GST, except the tax on few goods like petroleum, alcohol for human consumption, import of goods and services, and taxes levied by the local bodies. So GST is indirect tax. It has removed almost 17 other indirect taxes. Now moving on to objectives of GST. Why this tax has been levied by Indian government? So the first objective is developing common national market. That is, GST helped in facilitating free flow of goods and services across India because it has provided a common national market by giving one indirect tax all over India. Next is decrease in cost of goods. It has decreased the cost of goods by removing the cascading effect of taxes. Cascading effect means tax on tax. Now GST paid is set off against GST collected. Students, GST paid is input GST, which is paid on purchase of goods, and GST collected is GST collected from the customers on sale of goods. GST paid is always set off from GST collected. So we can say that GST is charged on the value added in the subsequent sales. That is, cascading effect of the indirect taxes is removed through GST. Now the next point is ease of doing business. Students, all the indirect taxes are merged into GST. So with the improved harmonization of indirect tax administration, setting up and carrying on of the businesses has become easier. So now people don't hesitate to enter into the business in order to set up the business. Next is simplifies compliance of indirect taxes. Compliance of indirect taxes has become much more simpler under GST. A business has to comply only with one tax, that is GST, as all other taxes have been removed. Next is better tax management. For tax administration, for tax authorities, administration and control of GST has become better and more effective, as only one tax has to be administered and controlled by the authorities. So for all the points we can say that only one tax is there. So that is why cost has decreased, there is ease of doing business, it simplifies the compliance of indirect taxes and better tax management. Now the next point is attracting FDI. That is, it attracts foreign direct investment. In the earlier tax regime where many indirect taxes were there, foreigners were hesitant to invest in India. But now they see that only one tax is there, so they come to make business in India, come to start business in India. So it helps to increase FDI in India. If FDI will increase, employment output in our country will increase. So the next point is increases GDP. GDP of any country increases when employment increases, output increases, income increases. This increases when businesses come into the picture, FDI comes into the scene. So with more FDI, with more businesses in India, GDP is definitely going to rise. Next is cashless economy. GST has eradicated cash economy. It has brought a system into the economy where cashless trading is done, where cash economy has eradicated. Now moving on to the features of GST. The first point of features is comprehensive indirect tax. GST has replaced about 17 indirect taxes. All these taxes are merged into GST. So now we have one indirect tax, that is GST. The second characteristic of GST is it is collected by a registered taxpayer. GST can be collected only if the business is registered under GST. It has its GST number. Next is it is value added tax. That is, it does not have cascading effect. It is a tax which is levied on incremental value. That is the value which is added to the product or service. It is applied, it is levied on that value added. Next is it is destination based tax. GST is charged every time sale is made to the final customers. That is, it will not be further sold. So it is destination based tax. Next is it is supply based tax. Supply based tax means it is charged by the seller's supplier only if he is registered under GST. Whether the purchaser of the goods is exempt for GST or not, the supplier should be registered under GST. Next is if inputs GST's credit is allowed, it is an asset. If GST paid can be set off against GST collected, then students it is accounted as an asset. But if it cannot be set off from GST collected, then it becomes cost for the business. Next is GST collected as a liability. GST collected is not an income for the business. It is a liability towards government. That is, after setting off GST paid against GST collected, if some balance is still there in output GST, then it is payable to government account. Next is it does not have any cascading effect. That is, it is not tax on tax. It is tax on the value added, that is incremental value. Now moving further to categories of GST. The categories can be made on the basis of intrastate sale or interstate sale. For intrastate sale means when the sale is made within the state, two taxes are levied on the sale. One is CGST, other one is SGST. CGST means Central Goods and Service Tax. SGST means State Goods and Service Tax. Then is IGST for interstate sale. For example, we are buying goods from Kerala. We are here in Punjab. We are going to buy goods from Kerala. Then the GST will be IGST. So we have three categories: CGST, SGST, both for intrastate sale. That is, I am in Jalandhar, I am buying goods from Ludhiana. So I will pay CGST and SGST. And in case of interstate sale, there will be IGST. Now I want to discuss one basic rule before starting the journal entries relating to GST. One thing is this: in case of purchases and in case of expenses, whenever we are making payment, we'll make the payment for GST as well. That is, we will pay GST. And this payment of GST, it is called as input GST. Whether it is input CGST, input SGST or input IGST. And whenever we are receiving money, that is on sales, and in case of incomes, we will receive GST. That is, we'll collect GST from the customer. So, GST received is called as output CGST. Whether it is output CGST, SGST or output IGST. Now starting with the journal entries. The first is for purchase of goods. There can be two cases. One, purchase within the state or interstate purchase. When the purchase is made within the state, then our simple entry, purchases account debited. Without GST also, we debit purchases account as it is our expense. Input CGST, we are paying this. It is cost to the business till it is not set off from the GST collected. So it is debited. Then input SGST account, debited. To cash if cash is paid. To bank if check is paid. And to creditor if the purchase is on credit. So purchases account debited, input CGST debit, input SGST debit to cash, bank or creditors. Any one of these will be there in any transaction. Then is interstate purchase. Purchases will be debited. Then input IGST will be debited because it is interstate purchase. So instead of CGST, SGST, there will be IGST. To cash, to bank, to creditors. Any one of these, whatever the case may be. Now the next is purchase return of goods. In case of purchase return, in case of interstate trade, creditors will be debited as we are returning them their goods. Cash or bank in case the transaction was on cash. So we'll return their cash also. So creditors debit, cash or bank debit to purchase return. As our expense of purchase is reducing, purchases is reducing. To input IGST. Earlier this was debited. Now it will be reversed. In case of purchase return, it will be cancelled in case of purchase return. On purchases we pay input IGST. In case of interstate trade, now we will reverse this GST when we are returning back the goods. Next is intrastate. The entry will remain same. In place of input IGST, we will reverse input CGST and input SGST because now the transaction is intrastate. Next is purchase of asset. Let's say the asset is machinery. So in case of intrastate, machinery will be debited as the asset is coming into our business, or you can say according to modern classification, the balance of asset is increasing. Input CGST debit, input SGST debit. To cash if we are paying it in cash, bank if through check, vendor if it is on credit. Then interstate trade. When we are buying machinery from some other state, so machinery will be debited. Input IGST. In case of inter, we'll be using IGST. Debit to cash or bank or vendor. Now the next point is rent paid. Rent is our expense, so we'll debit our expense rent account. Input CGST debit, input SGST debit. As we are paying these two. To cash in case paid in cash. To bank in case paid through check. In case it is not paid, it's still due, outstanding. So to outstanding rent account. Next is commission paid. It is also an expense. So same treatment as in the case of rent. Commission paid account debited. Input CGST debit, input SGST debit. In case it is intrastate transaction. And input IGST in case it is interstate transaction. To cash or bank or outstanding commission. Next is telephone bill. It is also an expense. So telephone expenses, debit all expense and loss, debit. Input CGST debit, input SGST debit. To cash, bank or outstanding expense. Now the next is insurance premium. It's also an expense for the business. So whenever insurance premium is paid, it is debited, it is an expense. Input CGST debit, input SGST debit to cash or to bank. Then is advertisement expense. I am taking up category of all the expenses in this topic. Now the advertisement expenses are there. So it is also an expense. It will be debited as we debit all expenses and losses. Then input CGST account debit, input SGST account debit. These two will appear in case of intrastate transaction. Then input IGST will appear instead of CGST and SGST if interstate transaction is there. To cash, to bank or outstanding advertisement expenses account. Next is bank charges. So bank charges are payable to bank. It's an expense. Debit input CGST debit, input SGST debit, to cash if paid in cash, or to bank. Generally it is to bank account because bank deducts bank charges from our account only. For printing and stationery expenses, the entry will be printing and stationery account debit, input CGST debit, input SGST debit in case of intrastate transaction. And if it is interstate transaction, then instead of CGST, SGST, there will be input IGST debit to cash or bank or outstanding printing and stationery. Next is freight and cartage or carriage. So freight and cartage account debit as it is our expense. Input CGST debit, SGST debit in case it is intrastate transaction. And if it is not, then input IGST account debited to cash, to bank or to outstanding in case it is due. Now the next point is sale of goods. Whenever we are making sales, we'll receive money from our debtors. We'll receive money from our customers. Then in case of interstate sale, interstate means from one state to the other state. So in case we are receiving cash, so cash will be debited, it is coming into our business. We are receiving check, bank will be debited. The transaction is on credit, then in place of cash or bank will write debtors account debit. To sales account, it's a revenue, credit all incomes and gains. To output IGST, will collect GST from our customers. And in case of interstate trade, interstate sale, will receive IGST. So this will be called as output IGST, or you can say it is GST on output made, sales made. So that is why in order to learn the name, output GST is on sales and input is on purchases. Next is intrastate sale. So cash is received or bank or debtors account debit. To sales account, it's a revenue. To output CGST, to output SGST whenever the sale is within the state. Next is in case of sales return, whenever our customers return our goods to us. So in case of interstate sale, sales return account will be debited as sales is reducing. So sales will be debited with sales return account. Output IGST account. Output IGST because earlier we credited output IGST. Now we are going to cancel it. So it will be debited. To cash will return their cash. To bank in case we are returning it in check form. And to debtors in case the transaction was on credit. Then in case of intrastate sale, sales return, goods are coming back to us, debited. Output CGST debit, output SGST debit, to cash, bank or debtors. These are debited because earlier they were credited. Now in case of return, these also will be cancelled. Now the next point is rent received. It's our income. So we know incomes are always credited. So I am crediting rent account. If it is received in cash, cash will be debited. If received in check, so bank will be debited. If it is not received yet, so accrued in rent will be debited. So entry becomes cash or bank or accrued in rent debited to rent account, to output CGST account, to output SGST account. So students, after doing this topic, I hope now you are able to define GST, identify the categories of GST, then you are able to record various journal entries relating to GST. Thank you students.